So what is a good Christian? Well, best way I can put that is someone who depends on not our own works, not our own doings. Like I said before, in other videos, we depend on Him, not our own doings. Our own doings are in the flesh. We do the best we can, yes, but we always have a time where we fail, no matter how good of a Christian you are. Not that I'm not a perfect Christian. Nobody's perfect. Only He is, and that's why it's all about Him. We make mistakes constantly. So a good Christian isn't who, I could talk about all the good things I do. I can, tell God, look, I done this, I done that. It's not about that. He's going to look at that like, that's what you did, but did you rely on me? He fights our battles. He is all. That's why, and it sounds so, I'm trying to find the best word for it. I guess in a way, silly, goofy. Anyway, it's we can rely on Him. We make mistakes. So when you make a mistake, rejoice, be glad that He died on that cross. He covered that. And it's not just about the sins. The sinning is just so we know what is good and what is wrong. The only way we can't sin is by relying on Jesus to be our strength. But we're always going to sin no matter what. But the fact of the matter is, when we do sin, it's covered. And that's what He wants. He wants our hearts, not our doings. He wants our hearts. We want us to be able to have that faith in believing that what He said He did this for. He did all what He did, so that way we can have it in our hearts and believe that that's what He did to cover our sins. Not for us to do the best we can to not sin. Of course, that's what we should do anyways, but whenever we rely on that, we're relying on our own doings, and we will always fail. But whenever we rely on Him, no matter how much we've already been failing, when we rely on Him, it's as if it never happened. It's already covered. Like I said, I can talk about all the good things I do, all this and that, but it's not about me. It's about Him. It's about His good doings. And because of that, I'm perfect through Him. Nobody's perfect. Like I said, remember, I said nobody's perfect. But whenever you have the faith and belief that that's what He did it for, we are perfect through Him. He sees us perfect because it is covered through Him. It's all. That's why it seems so goofy to say, it's all about Jesus and this and that, Jesus this, Jesus that. That's all true. It's a big deal. It's not the way it seems whenever they talk about Jesus and they're like, oh, Jesus this, oh yeah, Jesus. It's for a reason that we say that. And once you realize that, you will feel the same way. And then you're going to be feeling the same way I'm feeling now, like, oh, everybody else sees it this way, but now I see why it's actually this. He's more than we think He is. God is way more than we think He is. He's very... Whenever I'm just with Him, all I feel is love and mercy. I don't feel what I've done wrong. He doesn't remind anything that I've done wrong, unless if I'm doing it at the moment. But He does not go back in time and say, look, this is what you did, because I was forgiven. I believe by full faith that I was forgiven, and then you will feel that same relief knowing that you have been forgiven, which puts it in His eyes. We are perfect through His eyes because of the fact that He died on that cross. He's more than we think He is. I can go all day about all the good things I've done. I'm sure I've done more bad than I've done good. But because of my bad's been covered, the good is all he sees. And not the good of what I've done, but the good that I believe through him. Everything that I've done good is because of him. I wouldn't be able to do a lot of the good things I've done without him. I wouldn't even be the Christian I am today without him. And you'll notice that through the previous videos I've posted. Stop relying on your own doings. Stop trying to be the best that you can be through your own works. He doesn't look at our own works. That only hurts us. And then whenever we mess up, after we tried so hard to do our own doing so perfectly, and then when we mess up, we dwell on that. We dwell on our mistakes. But he doesn't. So why should we? Why would we dwell on something that he is no longer worried about? It's something that he's instead of looking at it as, look what you did, he sees it as, look what I was able to cover. Yes, that's what happened. And because you have belief that I died for that reason, that's gone. We go back to our mistakes. We think on that whenever we're trying to do so good. It's like, Lord, I messed up. And that's all you dwell on. I'm going to do my best to do better. I'll do better next time. And then we fail again. That's because we're trying through our own strengths. But even as the Bible says, Jesus, he's our strength. We can do all things through God, Jesus, who strengthens us. That is the point. It's all through him. That's why we say it's all about Jesus. It's not just to say it's all about Jesus because we believe in Jesus. It's a real thing. And when you realize this stuff, it's huge. I had a dream. I was fighting off it. It looked like Star Wars or something. I didn't know what it was. I had this huge collection of different swords I could have chosen. I had a dual sword or like a double sword. I had a huge giant one, like a double-handed one. I had there was like a sword on each end where I can just hit them both sides. I was basically fighting off the devil in a way. It felt like Star Wars. I don't know why, because it was like a Star Wars scene. It felt like, but and I'm not big into Star Wars like that, but that's just what it felt like. And every time I would choose my own weapon, the coolest one, I would always go after the coolest ones. Like, yeah, I feel like that one's going to do the best. That's really cool. I can do all kinds of things with that. And the whole time I'm struggling, like, oh my gosh, I'm getting whooped. Like, I'm able to block him here and there, but I felt like every time I was blocking him, I'm like, I don't know how I'm blocking him. I can't be doing this that well. And at the end, like, it was too hard struggling. So I would go after a different sword. I'll look at the whole collection again. All right, so that one's down. Let me try this one. So then I'll try, one of the big ones or whatever I'd choose, or the dual swords with two of them. And I thought I was going to whoop them that time, and didn't happen. I was struggling the whole time. And so I'll go after another one, and it would just keep repeatedly happening. And during this time, I didn't understand why. I didn't understand the dream at all. Even when I woke up, I didn't understand it. But later on, it came to me. But after all the decisions that I've made through my own doings, trying to choose what sword I wanted to use, I always failed. And at the end, I used all those swords up. At the end, there was just this plain sword. It was so plain. That's why I never chose it. But it was the last one left. I'm like, oh, now I have to give it all I got. But that was wrong. It's not all what I got. It's all what he does. And I realized this later because whenever I picked up that sword, it was like it was moving for me. Everything was just happening. It was boom, boom, boom. I was getting him the whole time. Doom, doom, doom. And just gone. He was done for. He just fell. There was a circle in the middle of it all, and there he goes. I just knocked him off after I just kept going. He couldn't handle it. And the whole time I'm like, how am I doing this? And of course it was a dream, but I didn't understand it. I'm like, how come the jankiest sword I didn't want to choose worked out for me, and it felt like I wasn't even doing it. Then it came to realize it's because all the swords that I chose was basically showing, and it's an example of me doing my own doings. I wanted to do it my way, but my way isn't the right way. I wanted to do the things out of my own strengths. I thought I was about to get them because I was able to choose this sword. I chose my own ways, and it's not always what it seems. It's never what it looks like. And in other videos, I say a lot of bad actually is good, a lot of good's actually bad. That'll make more sense if you check out the other videos. That's not the point right now. It's just part of it. But towards the end, once I used the one sword I didn't want to use, I was able to, the whole time, because as I was going through all those swords, I noticed the more I would kind of lean towards relying on God, it was a lot easier. But once I came to that last sword, I was like, all I can't do is rely on God, because I know I can't do it with this sword. And once I did that, it was game over for him. It was game over. He was done for easily, and without me feeling like I was doing anything. And that's what brought it to realization that it's not our own doings. It's not our own decisions. It's not our own works. It's all through Him. He fights it all for us. I wish I could put everything that I get and feel in better words, but it's hard to put words and feelings together. Especially when it comes to God. He's very mysterious. He works very different. For a good reason. And that's what I encourage you guys to do today. I encourage you to stop trying to fight things off in your own way. If you mess up, thank God that He covered it. Don't dwell saying, Lord, I'm sorry, I messed up, this and that. Yes, he'll forgive you, but then you're just going to keep relying on yourself, and then you're just going to mess up again. It's just going to be a pattern. You're just going to feel like you're going in a circle. Once you rely on Him, you won't have those worries. You won't feel like you have to be the best you can be. You will finally realize that you're not perfect. Like I said, no one is. I'm not. Definitely not. I just know that He is. And because of that, I am perfect through Him. He sees Christians as perfect through Him, because of Him. Not because of what we do, but because of what He's done. It's not about what I've done. It's about what He did. It's not about how hard I try. It's about how much I believe and have faith in what He did, why He's doing it for us. I believe that, all this is the whole point as to what He did dying on that cross for. Why He took those stripes. All of it. And if we are relying on our own doings, then what did He die for? What is the point? He didn't die for us to still rely on our own doings or on our own strengths. That's the whole point. Yes, it is mainly to cover the sins, but that's what all this is for, to be able to rely on Him. I hope you guys are understanding this. Please ask me any questions if you don't. Any questions about any part of it at all. I'll be more than happy to answer. Like I said, He is more than what we think He is. And that's why I was saying, whenever I feel His Spirit, when I'm with Him, spending time with God, all I feel is love and mercy. Love because He loves us so much, and the mercy because everything we've done wrong, I feel so forgiven. And that's all He wants for us. He just wants us to feel forgiven. He don't want us to dwell on what we've done wrong. He wants us to feel forgiven and pick ourselves back up. But not in our own doings. Pick ourselves back up like, all right, God, this time I'm going to rely on You. And it works out. When you truly do that. And it took me some time to finally do that. Even after that dream, I was struggling. I'm like, but I'm still messing up. But that wasn't the point. we're always going to be messing up no matter what. There's always going to be something new, especially as a Christian. Satan attacks the Christians the most. He don't I mean if you're not a Christian, you're already his, so he don't care. That's why you see all these rich people that have nothing to do with God, and they're rich and this and that, because Satan's not doing nothing to them. They're right where he wants them. We struggle. Struggle because we get attacked, and once we start to rely on God, that struggle just goes down and down more and more the more that we rely on Him, not ourselves. So it's not about me, it's about Him. That's why the Bible is not a book of rules. It is a book of love. And that's it. God is love. He has no hatred. He forgives everything. You can never be too far gone. Whenever I started to make this video, I was going to make a whole point of it being through Him and not our own doings, but I feel like I'm getting off track with all kinds of different ways. Just realize it's not. You can't mess up enough to push God away. I mean, you can. It pushes Him away every time that you sin, but whenever you're forgiven, He's still right there. But every time that you're dwelling on that sin, saying that how much you messed up, you're dwelling on your mistakes, that is what would push God away. But whenever we mess up and thank Him for covering our mistakes, that's only going to bring us closer. That's all it's going to do. Then we have that mercy. That's why I feel just love and mercy whenever I'm with Him. I never feel the guilt. He doesn't give us guilt unless if it's something that we're choosing to do anyways. Then of course that may be a little different. That's because that's what we just want to do that. But if we can rely on His strength to get us away from that, then yes. But if we're choosing to do it anyway, then of course it's not going to work out for you. That means that you don't really care. I'm just going to stop it right here. I'm just going too far random. I hope you guys understand the point of this, and I feel like this would be a lot stronger if you guys do ask me questions so that way I can answer them, because I don't know where to go with it without knowing who needs what. And anything I'll reply to, it will be strictly of what I know 100% based on what is written or what I feel through the Spirit. It's never going to be my own thoughts of, well, it should be this, so it's going to be this. And I'm not going to say anything that's from my own mind. And that's that. Well, God bless. Thank you guys for watching. Please, if you want to, like, subscribe. That would be great. I'd like to get more viewers, not for myself, for God. I'm only doing this for the glory of God. Man, I have so much on my mind. I just want to keep going and saying all kinds of different things but all that stuff is off topic. I'll make other videos for that. So God bless. Thank you for watching. Bye.